Hello everyone, this is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil. First Bengaluru, then Delhi, Navi Mumbai and now Hyderabad. Women murdered, assaulted and gang raped. In Hyderabad, 2 incidents of gang rape have been reported just today. A woman who threw a party to celebrate her new job was gang raped by her friend and 2 other men right after the party. And in a Nirbhaya-like horror, another woman was gang raped in Hyderabad in a moving bus. The bus driver is now in custody after she filed a complaint. Crime after crime. But where is the outrage? Where is the accountability? Is India fast becoming no country for women? NDTV has launched a Save Our Daughters campaign to put the spotlight on women's safety. And with Parliament in session, I have with me 4 women MPs joining us in our effort to make cities safe for women. Aprajita Sarangi is Member of Parliament of the BJP from Odisha. We have Dr. Kadiyam Kavya, Congress MP from Telangana. Shambhavi Chaudhary is LJP MP from Bihar. Also the youngest woman MP of 18th Lok Sabha. And Dr. Rani Sri Kumar is DMK MP from Tamil Nadu. Ms. Sarangi, I'm going to begin with you. A former bureaucrat you were, and now as a member of parliament, someone who is involved in lawmaking, is there a sense that nothing seems to be changing as far as women's safety is concerned?
At the outset, I must thank you that you have brought us to the table for discussing a topic which is of immense relevance. Safety of women, safety of our daughters. I can only say that the National Crime Record Bureau report gives us figures which actually put us all to shame. The World Health Organization reports that approximately 30% of women globally experience violence of different kinds in a particular year. And this is reflected all over the world, but more so in India. I belong to the ruling party, but still being a woman, I can only say that all of us need to put our minds together and really, join hands, cutting across party lines to ensure that our women and our daughters are safe and sound. We have to work for their economic empowerment, and we have also to ensure that we uphold their dignity and we ensure their safety and security. I very much appreciate the topic that you have brought us to for discussion. And if you go through the 2022 report, the NCRB, the National Crime Record Bureau report, we will be aghast. You will be aghast if you see that 4,45,256 cases in 2022 related to violence against women, violence, physical, sexual, mental, of any type. And if you look at this figure, 4,45,256, it translates to almost 51 FIRs per hour. So I think, cutting across party lines, I reiterate, we all need to sit together and think as to what we do. The government has been doing, but yes, I can only say that the laws have to be grounded. The laws have to be implemented in right earnest, and societal attitudes need to change.
Ma'am, before I bring in others, I also want to understand from you, because you have been, as I said, a former bureaucrat yourself, and now a member of parliament. Do you see this as a law and order problem, a societal problem? Mindset has to change, or will it ever change? Because we keep talking about it, and there'll be candlelight marches, there'll be concerns, there will be some kind of outrage, but everything seems to be very, very temporary and short-lived.
See, there are 2 aspects of the coin. One is preventive and the other is punitive. Why do we go to punitive if we can take preventive actions? There has to be a lot of focus on education and awareness, not only of girls, but also of boys. It's very important to educate the boys. We have to create an environment within the home and outside the home where sons, where brothers, where males start respecting women or the girls or the sisters or the daughters. It's very important. And at the same time, I can only say that there has to be focus on economic empowerment of women.
Yes.
For that matter, you know, they have to earn money. If they earn money, if they have money in their pockets, they would definitely be much more confident and they would be able to handle their issues with a lot of responsibility. But at the same time, I can only say that there are very good laws that have been formulated by the parliament, by the concerned state governments. As we know, law and order is a state subject. It's in the 7th schedule of the constitution. It's a state subject. So state has a major role to play here. But in the parliament also, a couple of laws have been drafted. And we are aware of them. The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2016, which was in pursuance of the Vishakha guidelines. And these Vishakha guidelines are very critical. If they are grounded, if they are implemented in right earnest, I think half of the problems are over. And these Vishakha guidelines came after the Supreme Court judgment of 1997. Right. We have the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 1961, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act 2021. See, why do I say all these? The laws are there, very much there, whether drafted by the state government or the central government. Important is how well we implement these laws on the ground. Yes. So these would be punitive actions.
Yes, Dr. Kavya of the Congress is also joining us. Dr. Kavya, you know, we are having this discussion on a day that two women, two unfortunate incidents have come to light from Hyderabad. You know, it appears that urban spaces are becoming more unsafe for women. Why are we not able to protect or save our girls?
I think there are many faces for this issue which we have been facing since many decades actually. It is the social aspect, the boy and the girl, they should be shown equality from the childhood itself, from their home itself. And then there should be social awakening, that is, the women, they should get much respect and then they should get their priorities right. And they should also have financial independence. Just now our one of the ma'am who mentioned about the financial independence.
Yes.
And also it is not at the level of rural or something or tribal areas, but it is also in metropolitan cities where women are harassed at their workplaces or even after the work. Like for women or for any girl, starting from the female feticide till her old age, she is very susceptible to many things happening around her. It could be mental violence or physical violence or any mental harassment, anything she'll be facing throughout her life. It is her that she should be strong enough to face this, and even she should get enough encouragement and support and independence from her own family members. Then only she can survive in the society.
So the support has to come all round. But if there are crimes happening outside of their homes, then what can be done?
This women.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, not just the legislative things.
Yes.
It should be also social education. The society has to change a lot. The societal masses, they should change a lot. They should protect their girl child right from the early life. That is, these children, at every stage of their life, women are experiencing much abuses, be it child abuse or sexual abuse or anything. She'll be facing it right from rape is not just from 15 to 50 years or something like that. I have seen it up to 80 years of old women also getting raped, or the rape person who is committing the rape might be her own father. So girl is not protected in any way, either from her family or anything, because we have seen these issues even in our state or in any other places.
Okay.
So all-round improvement and all-round education is always needed.
Yes. Shambhavi is also joining us. Shambhavi is one of the youngest MPs of the 18th Lok Sabha. Shambhavi, it's almost every day that we hear of one or the other crime against women. As a young MP, do you feel let down by the lawmakers themselves, or do you think that it's a larger problem in itself which we are not able to find a solution of?
first of all, thank you for having me on this show and thank you for giving me an opportunity to put my views forward. The most important thing that I feel concerning women's safety is definitely it needs a collective effort where the government is on the forefront, but you need a very strong administration also. And the most important is the civic sense, the mental strength, the mental capacity. See, there is a saying where very nice media channels, very nice news channels have collectively focused on how women are not even safe in their own homes, and this whole issue on women's safety needs to be addressed together. It's not something that, okay, today the government will come forward and it will fix the problem. No, it does not happen like that. The civic society needs to come together. The patriarchal mindset, the stereotypes that are related to women, all of these need to be tackled together.
Yes, Shambhavi, since you're from my home state of Bihar, there are stories of Bihari girls, and who have to, all of us had to migrate, leave our hometowns and our state for better opportunities and jobs. Aprajita Sarangi here was talking about economic independence. But here, when we look at that incident which happened in Bengaluru, the girl was from Bihar. She was, of course, looking for better opportunities, education or work. And then she had to face that kind of crime. First you leave your home and now you're feeling unsafe also in a town which is supposed to be a modern town. Do you think it's difficult for women to speak to their parents as well about their challenges?
Definitely. When I was in Delhi, my parents were also worried all the time. Although I come from a very, having said that, I understand that I come from a very privileged background. Despite that, my parents were always worried. This issue of women's safety is something that is so deep in the society. It penetrates all classes. It penetrates all kinds of castes. And women discrimination is something that is so prevalent that, discrimination or unsafety of women is something that people mostly don't even seriously talk about. They are just worried that, okay, my daughter is in this big city and something might happen to my daughter, but they collectively don't address that issue. And, the incident that happened in Bengaluru, it's deeply shocking, it's horrifying. And, people who are responsible for it should definitely, be penalized. Because see, what happened was that she was murdered inside her hostel PG. I think it was a paying accommodation, and it puts forward a very important truth that the women are not safe anywhere, and it's not because the government is failing; it's because we are failing as a society.
Okay, so if it is a societal problem, Aprajita Sarangi, where is the solution then?
Definitely, I think.
Very good question.
Advocating for women's safety.
Okay, that's a question for Aprajita Sarangi. Shambhavi, I'm going to come back to you. Just a moment. Yes, Aprajita Sarangi, go ahead, ma'am.
See, there can be two approaches. One, of course, is from the government side. There is the concept of gender budgeting. When for the past 2 days I was sitting in the Lok Sabha, I was actually talking to all the ministers and asking them as to what have you kept under the budget gender. And that's the gender budgeting, which is a lovely concept. And most of the ministers talked about their gender budgeting segment. 6.5% of 2024-25 budget pertaining to different ministries put together is under the head gender budgeting. So it's very good. There are many schemes, many laws, and the two major laws that have come now, the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, they have included a chapter on safety of women, on empowerment of women, which is highly welcome. But then everything boils down to the quality of implementation of all these laws, all these schemes on the ground. So I think government has a role to play. Government must ensure the enforcement of the laws and the proper implementation of the schemes meant for the welfare, meant for the empowerment, and meant for the safety of women. But at the same time, very important is we all need to work together, whether government, whether non-government, whether family members of ours, all of us need to work together to create a very safe environment. 8th March every year is celebrated as the International Women's Day. That particular day, you can see everywhere, women women's dignity is supreme, these kinds of things we hear here and there, and women are kind of shown respect in every social functions. But the fact remains that 365 days, women and daughters must be respected. Their privacy needs to be respected. So I think it's everybody's job to see that our women, our girls are not treated in an inferior manner, and they are not treated as second-class citizens. Unfortunately, it is happening. Things are improving, I must say. I come from a very ordinary background from Bihar, Bhagalpur, Bihar. Very ordinary background, but I could come this far because that societal environment was there. The ecosystem was favorable for me, and that's why I'm here sitting. I was in the IS and now I'm here because my parents and my system, my family helped me come up this far. So I think all the women MPs who are here, they must have fought their way through, and they must have got that, the favorable ecosystem. So I think all of us need to work together, and people like us who are in a privileged position, as Shambhavi said, we need to create that favorable ecosystem for all our sisters across the country. That's our job.
Ms. Sarangi, thank you so much for
Nobody
putting that
can say
across.
that the government will do or the non-governmental organizations will do. It's
Putting that across so very well. Dr. Kavya, I'm going to take that thought forward. After the Nirbhaya incident, then there was this entire emphasis on speedy justice, that there should be fast tracking of cases as well. Where are we headed? But nothing seems to be changing much because that fear of law isn't there somehow.
Yes. Actually, this women's safety, whatever the acts that are imposed right now, they should never be a party election slogan. It should be a continuous process where women should be safeguarded because we are three girl children for my father. We don't have any brothers. So my parents, they safeguarded us, they protected us. But in every family, if they see such incidents of happening, suicides or homicides that are happening right now, or the murders that are taking place, they will go back and say, just sit at home and be safe, that's enough for you. Because in India now, women need to come forward in every aspect, in every area. So such incidences will make the parents feel vulnerable about their child. So I feel these fast track courts, they should work very sincerely and effectively around the clock and give justice, so that the other persons who are thinking of committing such crimes, they should step back, and then the society should be a little more comfortable and secured for the women who are stepping out of their houses for a better life which they have dreamt since many years.
Yes, so it is about that collective responsibility, as and all of your members of parliament sharing your stories as well. So it's certainly a beautiful way in which Aprajita Sarangi and Dr. Kavya has put across their thoughts. But Shambhavi, what do you think women MPs can collectively do? Because there are newer challenges, as your fellow MPs are talking about, both within and outside the house.
Definitely, I think advocating for women's safety, advocating for a society that is more just, advocating for something. See, the whole point is that nobody comes collectively. Everything gets politicized. When you come from a political background, suddenly everything is about politics and how somebody is wrong and somebody is right. But this issue on women's safety, on justice to women, on how women can be empowered further, needs a collective voice that has got nothing to do from the government or from the opposition. We need to come together and advocate for it. Other than that, we need to create awareness through different, we can do this in our constituencies, we can do this in our home states. We need to collectively talk about different issues pertaining to women, be it the dowry, be it patriarchal discrimination, be it unfair, the wage gap. So these are some little things that we can, address. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it more boldly. And most importantly, we need to educate women. We need to run campaigns, awarenesses where education of women is prioritized. where education, higher education in women especially. So, when I talk of education, I don't talk of primary education. I mean, higher education needs to be prioritized, where opportunities given to women need to be, that needs to be on the priority list. How women are getting jobs, we are talking about that, but are we creating a safe environment for them to work? Are we addressing the wage gap? And definitely, I am a sociology student, and I continuously talk about it, about how women have to work in two shifts. They work outside also, and once they come home, they work there also. So these are some issues that we need to collectively raise, collectively talk about. And I don't think that there is anything regarding women that is not important. Anything regarding women or girl or a girl child, education, health, everything, sanitation, everything is important. And it's about time, we are in 2024, it's about time that we all collectively come together and advocate for it.
Okay. Prajita Sarangi, the concern certainly is that how do you ensure that the issue of women's safety is not politicized? Because law and order is a state subject. Every time there is a crime against women, there is outrage, but it invariably becomes politicized. It becomes about political blame game, or what could have been done which was not done.
Absolutely. I fully agree. Now here, when I'm sitting with you talking about women and their causes and the concerns around them, I don't think I'm talking to you as a member of parliament from the Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm talking to you as a woman who is privileged enough to sit in the Lok Sabha. Right. So I think all the women, whosoever, whichever position they are in, I think all of them need to think seriously for their sisters. And we should also tell our sons, our brothers, our fathers to actually think in the same manner. And as I said, 8th March is the day when we celebrate womanhood. I think we need to celebrate womanhood every day of the year. And I think this has to be done by all of us together. Government has been doing its bit. Which government is there, that doesn't matter much. Whether it's the earlier government or the current government, we have also done a lot of works. I'm talking of the government in position. And the earlier government also must have done their bit. So I think there is no competition as far as this is concerned. Everybody wants 50% of the population to be good. And women hold half the sky, as Mao Tse-tung said. So I think women are very important. And 140 billion population, 50% are women. In my state also, 50% of the 4.5 crore population in Odisha are women. So I think we cannot think of progress of a state or progress of the nation if we don't actually bring up this half of the population.
Take it up as a challenge.
So I think we need to rise together. It's very
rise
important
together to protect women, to save our daughters. Dr. Kavya, a quick 30 seconds to you.
Society has to play its role. But yes, I would like to emphasize something.
Yes.
Pardon?
I would like to say this with a lot of emphasis.
Yes.
The laws, which are very stringent in nature, have to be implemented forcefully, and there has to be fear of law. I think somebody said when we started our conversation, there has to be fear of law. So this comes in the category of punitive actions. Why does it happen? How can it happen if the person, the perpetrator of the crime, knows that what's coming if he does this?
Absolutely. I agree with you that fear of law is a must. Dr. Kavya, quick 30 seconds to you, ma'am. Go ahead.
These instances that are happening that make everybody feel their heart sinking should not fade away over a period of time, because every time we see some instances which shake whole country regarding the things or harassments or the murders that are happening to this woman or child, girl child, at a very young age also sometimes, irrespective of caste, religion, anything. Everybody, we all women should first come together and fight for this cause, sensitize the family, sensitize the society, and also the boys.
Absolutely,
in the
I agree with you, Dr.
And,
Kavya.
women should
Prajita Sarangi and Shambhavi, thank you so much for joining our campaign, Save Our Daughters. Of course, this is our top focus here on NDTV. The issue of safety of women should not be about just candlelight marches and outrages which are temporary in nature, but it should be a campaign which is more holistic in nature, which actually leads to change on ground. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.